Hello, welcome to Boog Club. Today
Woo!
we have
We
all of
weren't
us yet
excited
again.
today.
So we're back again. It feels like it's been ages again, low key. I don't know if it feels like that to y'all, but it feels like that to me. It feels like it's been forever again. Um, Finishing part three of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Finally, and then we have the fourth part, which we're gonna try to knock out in one go, right, David?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I speak for everyone when we're kind of excited to get a new book.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, super
New
amped.
book is so ready for that.
Super amped.
So let's go ahead and get this one on the way then. Connor, what have you been up to?
Me?
Little old you.
Yes.
Little you.
Um, we didn't talk last week, right?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, I had another communications job. Went smoothly. All my stuff worked as anticipated. Electricians and mechanical contractor, not so much. But all of my stuff was perfect.
That's what matters.
So yeah, we had the consultant walk through, and he's like, "Hey, all your stuff is good." I was like, "Cool." Why was I here for 4 days? But had last Friday off for 4th of July, which was nice. I wrestled a pig at work last
Oh,
week.
You wrestled a pig.
I wrestled a pig, a wild hog. Made its way onto this construction site I was working at, and I wrestled it, picked it up, and I set it back out into the muck so that it could roll around. So that was neat.
he's a hero.
The muck. Back into the muck.
Put him back in the mud.
No, that hog was sweet though. She was very sweet. It was like a little baby. She was so dehydrated, running around on like this asphalt for like 45 minutes. Like by the time I got to her, she was like, "Please just save me. Like I can't get out of here." Like I literally just like got down to her level, started going, and then she just ran over to me and she was like, "All right, come on."
It's very cute though,
But,
Connor.
yeah, it was very cute. But in exactly a week, my niece is gonna be born. Pretty excited.
Dude.
Uncle Con Man.
So actually thinking about it, Tuesday might not work for me, guys.
Uncle Con.
Uncle Con.
Uncle Con.
Come on, Connor. You gotta get your priorities in order.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Book club over your niece's birth.
Put your niece on the
Yeah.
podcast.
I'll just do it
just
in
record
Your niece
there.
on the podcast.
Yeah, record in the room.
I'll just do it. Yeah, I'll just do it in the room.
Do it in the delivery.
Do a family face reveal while I'm at it.
Yeah, that way we get the whole Do Charm family.
Yeah.
And the extended.
Yeah.
But that's
dox your niece like minutes out of the womb. Like just
Yeah.
instantly.
This is her
Well, the
license
biggest
plate.
clickbait ever.
But yeah, I mean that was basically it. That's all that's really been going on in my world. Just chilling.
Looking forward to the next update then.
Yeah. Next update's gonna be good.
Big update.
I'm gonna pass it off to David. We're just gonna go on a line.
Going online. What have I been up to? Also just work. Work has been extremely slow, which is unfortunate. Had one of the worst months of the year so far. That's always your Junes. Junes are just for some reason slow as fuck when it comes to car business. But the silver lining there is that it's given us a lot of opportunity and time to reorganize all of our inventory, which was heavily needed. So that is also something that I've been working on, or that I finished today, is actually making a whole better location barcode scanner, because everything that was on the market was either too much, giving me problems, or just it was just too much. That was like the biggest problem for me. I just needed something light, something simple, something with no extra bells and whistles. So worked on that. My friend, really cool guy, took his day off and actually helped me, and more so my parents, which is a very, very, very nice thing to do, with getting their AC, because they had been sleeping in this Texas heat for like 2-3 days. I was feeling bad for him, man.
You could learn a thing or two from that friend, Connor.
Yeah,
Honestly, you
you
could,
can
Connor.
learn to
You
be a
really
little bit
could.
nice like that
I
guy.
could. I could.
No, Connor did a great job. It was so nice. Take his day off and actually just help me the entire day.
Pass Connor
Super
Dub.
goated. Yeah, super goated. Had to treat him to a little bit of food, and even though he didn't want to accept pay, we forced him to accept pay. And what else? What else? Weekend was pretty chill. We didn't do anything for 4th of July. At this point, we don't really do anything for 4th of July anymore because that is the anniversary of my grandma's passing. So my mom isn't really keen on it doing too much of that stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Checks out.
So yeah, and tomorrow my girlfriend back from Europe after being gone for 2 whole weeks. So that's super exciting. I
Nice.
finally get to see her. I'm saving my episode of Love Island so I can with her because surprisingly, she actually kept up.
You're
That's so
surprised
funny.
she kept up.
Yeah, I thought it'd be the opposite.
You're surprised she kept up.
Yep, because she was in Europe. Are you really surprised? I told you last time. This is a cool social experiment that I get to watch in real time. And
Well,
I get to watch it without me being involved in any drama, which is always a plus. And, you get that little gossip drama fulfillment in your life. Everyone needs a little bit of that, A
I just
little
love
bit.
how David is so into like, oh, I need some drama.
I know.
Yeah, I need that
I
drama.
know. Like he needs more drama in his life.
That's so
I mean,
funny.
can I complain? I think I'm in a good spot with that situation.
That's fair.
But yeah,
Well,
so
don't
that's
spoil. I'm still like 3 episodes behind.
Wait, are you actually watching too?
Yeah, my sister's been watching, and I'm just it's like
Oh,
all
dude.
it took was like one night. When like your roommate or your parents
Yeah.
or somebody in your
Yeah.
house just has something on TV, and there's just like it's like you just get drawn to
And
it.
I know,
You're just
I know you specifically. You are ready to ask questions, and then when you start asking questions, I know your
It's too
sister starts
late.
explaining everything. And
Yep.
once she starts giving you all the lore,
too
and you
late,
start
and
knowing the
now I'm
characters
all
even
in,
more, and then you
and I'm
see how they,
like,
yeah,
like the episode where they came back from Casa del More and like recoupled, riveting TV. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy, dude.
It was wild, dude. That show unironically hooked me, and I'm
Fuck
so
Corbin.
keep watching,
Oh, whoa, okay.
keep watching.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
That is all I'm saying, and you'll understand why I
Interesting.
said that. But yeah, so Alexa's coming back. I'm going to do something small. I'm trying to think of ideas because right now my only idea is, flowers and a little welcome home balloon for them and her and her family. I think that'd be kind of cute, because I have access to their house. Because I've been checking up on it and watering the
Breaks
plants.
in.
I had to, yeah.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. That's why
Weird
I said
way
it,
to
and then
say
my
that.
brain immediately said, "Okay, that was not a good way of putting it." So
Yeah, I can get into
I
her
have
house
been
anytime
going
I
to their
want.
house. Yeah, I've been going to their house to check up on their plants and make sure
I
that
have
the
access
pool
to
is
their
still
house.
running. And making sure that everything is good over there on that end, so I can have a little cute surprise waiting for the family when they get back.
I have access to their house, and I let them a little surprise for when they get back.
Surprise for when
A
they get back
cute-
from vacation.
A cute one. It'll blow their socks off.
It's a bomb.
No, David, you can't. We have to stop
You
him.
can't do it.
Don't do it, David.
Okay, y'all.
We
At some
can't
point,
replace you on the podcast.
yes, yes.
Holy crap.
Anyways, that is what's going on in my life. So nothing crazy.
You
Yeah,
should have
nothing
known
crazy
You sure?
yet.
the Forge.
Just wait for the Netflix doc, then it'll be crazy.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have fun. We have fun here. I'll pass it off to Seth. Now.
I'm so dead, bro.
Holy crap. How can I possibly follow that up? I just got back from vacation again. Me and Vacations name a more dynamic duo.
Can't.
And
Yeah, this guy always
we
on
went,
them.
dude, we went to Rocky Mountain National Park with Anna's family, which was absolutely gorgeous and wonderful. I learned that my body doesn't do well in environments of high altitude and low humidity. I was like nosebleeding like crazy. I probably
Oh,
had the
Oh,
worst
sh-
nosebleed of my life.
I thought
were
you were
you
just gonna tell me you were out
actually?
of breath or something.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like I've like stuffed like a some toilet paper in my nose, sticking out, and it literally soaked through the entire piece. I had to
That's
take it out for
Holy
interview. It
insane.
was
cow.
crazy. It
I've
was
never
kind of
heard of that
scary.
before. That's
It was
insane.
kind of scary. I was literally like, there was like a part of me that's like, what if I just don't stop bleeding? Like, am I gonna be okay?
I'm gonna lose all my blood.
Yeah, right. I was fine though. It was like a nasty combination because the place we were staying was at 10,000 feet. Like the whole, so I was 10,000 feet minimum the entire time I was there.
Damn.
And we were obviously doing big hikes, like to add another like 2,000 feet of elevation. And then it was super dry. Colorado currently has a burn ban across the entire state because it's like wildfires. The wildfires are like not that far away from Rocky Mountain National Park. So there's like smoke in the air. Like you can see it when you wake up in the morning. So it was a combination of a lot of brutal atmospheric effects, and it all came together to make a tough
Ouch.
time for Seppi K. But it was still beautiful. I
But he
still had a great
persevered.
time. Yep. And then for 4th of July, I was at a wedding, believe it or not, and there were no fireworks. It was so sad.
Fireworks at wedding would be kind of cool though,
I
actually.
think that's the only time you can do it is when it's on 4th of July. Like you have a great opportunity. Run it up. But the burn ban.
I wanna.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
wanna. I don't want to drive off this conversation too much, but I kind of do. And just to mention wildfires. Have y'all heard of the new prediction market? Like how there's Kalshi and all those prediction markets. There's a
Yeah.
new one specifically to predict California wildfires.
That's crazy.
The conflict of interest there is
I
Literally,
know.
oh
I don't think
how
that should
do
be
you
illegal,
not
right?
see the conflict of interest there?
yeah,
It's so easy for anybody to just start a fire because it's predicting when a fire will start.
dude.
So
I think if
you can
fires should
imagine
start
it.
in 5 minutes.
I'll put $1,000 on that.
It's actually
That's
insane.
crazy.
Anyways,
Well, thanks for the daily dose of doom.
yeah, probably.
Monetary incentive to start wildfires.
Yeah.
Actually,
I didn't even need an incentive. You know?
it's
I
just a
guess we're both getting
bonus.
replaced on this podcast, dude.
Oh man. But yeah, that's all that's happening with me. I just got one more vacation coming up, and then I'm done for.
Just one more.
All
Oh,
right,
poor
you
Seth.
have
So many
more.
vacations.
We're really working hard over there.
I sure
Considering
goes
his
on
I
break.
vacation
really,
every other week.
I actually don't feel like I'm working hard. I'm like, it was actually like my brain is like so mushed from like not consistently working for like a week at a time that I need it to be over. But
Your life is
yeah,
so hard.
I know,
I'm a
right?
poor
I'm
Seth.
such an asshole complaining about all the vacations I'm taking.
I had to go
You
to the
good.
Rockies, man. Oh man, my life sucks.
Man, that view was so dang beautiful, man. I freaking hate it.
Anyways,
Watch
on
is
to
too
Howie.
buttery.
On to Howie. Enough of me.
So for me, a little bit eventful. Um, my birthday happened about a week ago.
Oh,
So
happy
Yeah.
birthday,
yeah,
dude.
Oh, happy
Happy
thank you,
belated
birthday, bro.
birthday.
thank you. I was waiting for Seth's
Kind of
LinkedIn
would
to
have expected
remind
Seth
him,
to say it. Yeah, I kind of thought
uh,
Seth would have said it, right?
because I
But
think
you're talking about the guy for.
the past 2 times I think it's been my birthday. Seth was like, "No way, LinkedIn remind me it was your birthday." I was so curious if it was gonna happen this year, but it didn't. Um,
Talking about the guy who forgot his mom's
I
birthday.
literally shut
did
up,
you
dude.
really?
I literally
My
yeah, it was
bad,
like
my
in
bad.
that's a long story. But it was like in a critical it was literally like it was literally like you need to remember your mom's birthday, you're gonna die. And I forgot it. Like it was crazy.
I forgot my
Um
dad's birthday once. It's all right. I get you.
I feel like
Um,
it's okay to forget dad's birthday, but
I
mom's
kind of feel as
birthday,
though too. I feel
that's
like
I
fair.
that too
can't
a
forget
little bit.
mom's
I think that's
birthday.
fair. But no, so it was nice. It was actually great. I went I worked that day, but when I came home, Nicole said like set up the whole apartment. She decorated and stuff. It was very sweet. She put up balloons and like uh some baby pictures with like birthday hats on them. And then she like I guess like one of those like chalk things on the mirror. She like made a whole design. It was very nice. It was very sweet. And
That's cute.
yeah, I actually I somewhat spoiled it because I woke up at like 6 to go to the bathroom, and so I saw the mirror with the
Ah,
balloons in it. But then I just like went
Mm.
straight back to bed. I was like, I can't let I have to just act like nothing. I didn't see anything. I got to act like it until I actually wake up for the day. Um, but yeah, so that was nice. She got me. She knows what I like. She got me some more jackets. This is one of the new ones. She also got me some books.
I see that big stack of books right behind you,
Yeah, right
dude.
behind you.
Yeah, I'll go through them pretty quickly. But another Camus book,
Oh no.
Oh,
The Rebel.
The Rebel.
That'd be a cool
Okay,
one.
awesome.
Connor, the Rubicon.
nice, nice,
Yeah, I knew you'd like that one. Connor. The Storm Before the Storm, the beginning of the end of the Roman Republic.
nice,
Awesome.
nice.
We got
This
Man,
is
you met
awesome.
Kim. She really went out.
Yeah.
Seneca,
Holy crap.
Nice,
Letters from a
nice.
Stoic. Yep.
Bro, Connor's like
And she got me this one, The Age of
oh,
AI, because I was like looking at it one day in a
interesting.
bookstore.
Interesting.
Kissinger.
Yeah, I know. The name also popped out at me. But yeah, birthday was great. We went to a Indian restaurant called Delhi Six. Great service, great food. They just moved to a new location actually with like their own building instead of like on a shopping corner, a mall
Mm-hmm.
corner, and it was really cool. I actually like I actually left a review, which I like almost never do. I always like say I'm going to do it and
That's how
just
you
never do it.
know it's good, dude.
Yeah, yeah. The
They
manager
had that
was
good hospitality, huh?
They did. They did. The manager came by, dude, and we were talking about he hit me with some Indian history and some like the Indian alphabet was all over the place too. It was really nice.
Awesome.
So yeah, so my birthday was great. And then I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, July 4th, we went to with a couple friends, a couple new friends. They had like a little I wouldn't really call it a party, it was like a get together. It was Nicole and I and another friends they have with a couple of their kids. They had a bunch of fireworks, shot them off. It was nice. It was really nice. We ended up staying. Nicole and I did. Played Mario Kart. So that was nice. It's been a while since I played Mario Kart. I remember when I used to school David and Seth. I remember
Maybe
those
me,
good old
not
days.
Seth.
Bro.
I'll
The good
admit
old
I'm not the
days.
best at Mario Kart.
No,
That's not my game.
I
Howie was pretty
I
good,
didn't school Seth. Seth definitely always beat
but
me.
I'm kind of the goat. I'm kind of the Mario
Fucking
Yeah.
Kart goat.
MC Ryder.
There's
MC
nothing
Ryder,
you can do.
baby. You know who was really good at Mario Kart for no reason at all?
Yuji.
Alec.
Oh, Alec.
Yuji was all. Oh, dude. Don't remind me of that night. One of the greatest nights of my life.
Dude,
Mario
it was
Kart
actually a great
Land.
time.
It was awesome, dude.
Dude, that's dude. Memories.
Or college memory right there.
For
Yeah.
real.
So that's all I got though. Let's get into the book before we go down too much down memory lane. The Spirit of
Yeah.
Gravity.
It's actually so funny. We started this at 7:30. It's already 8:42.
Yeah, that
Bad.
too.
That was
That
like the
too.
longest pre-podcast
Yeah, we
chat
were
we've
talking
had
for
in
a
a long time.
while. Okay, the Spirit of Gravity. So here we start off.
Didn't talk as much as Zarathustra in this one, though. I'm a fucking rambler.
Zarathustra to be yapping. So Spirit of Gravity. The guy kind of like talks. He's mentioned gravity before, like how he hates
Hmm.
like dread and depression and sadness and all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, everyone should just be happy, you know. Um, and one of the main things I wanted to talk about here that I remember was him talking about like children and how spirit of gravity can overtake them. Um, let me read. Okay. Almost in the cradle are we apportioned with heavy words and worse. Good and evil, so calleth itself this dowry. For the sake of it, we are forgiven for living. And therefore suffereth one little children to come up unto one, to forbid them betimes to love themselves. So causeth the spirit of gravity. And I think a lot of this chapter, if I remember correctly, was also him talking about how these terms, good and evil, morals, and all this stuff can make you kind of hate yourself because like no one's perfect. So then you look at your
Mm-hmm.
imperfections and you're like, man, I need to be doing better. I'm a piece of trash. Um, and so he talks about that as like, he says that this like you shouldn't let that gravity hang over you. You should continue to be joyful and happy with life. And I think that's his biggest issue in morals and the idea of good and evil is that it makes people feel down about themselves. Like they have to live up to like purpose too. Finding a purpose. We talked about that before. When you're young, you feel like you have to get a purpose right away because they force it on you to like you have to find something, and it forces a lot of pressure on you, which can be hard. Um, so what I kind of wanted to present to y'all was, you know, I guess kind of almost the same thing you talked about. But this time, like he says almost in the cradle. Like, do you think that even that talking, like people talking to you about good and evil and purpose and all that stuff at like even a toddler stage, at a very bad, like young stage, can really have such a negative impact on you at a young stage and throughout life?
I think it definitely depends on how it's being talked about. If you tell a kid, no, you're a bad person because you did that, and your hormones are all messed up, so you suck. You should fix yourself. That might be a little detrimental.
So you think it's
That
like
might be a
the way it's
little
presented
detrimental.
to you?
Oh, for sure. I think it's 1,000% the way it is because you could. I think. I guess this is probably is. This is immoral. I'm going to say this is immoral. But the golden rule, right? Treat others how you would like to be treated. I think presenting something like that, which is a little, fluffed up with that whole moralism of, I guess, good and evil. You're kind of starting to apply those meanings to different actions, right? Because doing to others how you want to be done to yourself or whatever does present that good and evil idea. But I don't think presenting it in that manner would be detrimental to a child or a toddler developing. I think in a sense, it would for sure help them. Actually, speaking of that, now I'm kind of getting to another thought is I think you have to start as a kid with the ideas of good and evil before you can actually ascend to the past thinking about good and evil.
Okay, hold on. Could you elaborate a little further?
It's okay. It kind of goes with what he said later. Before you fly, you can't just even that's not gonna happen. First you need to climb before you even start to walk. I think it was crawl, climb, walk, whatever. Point is, you have to get to these previous stages before you can actually fully understand or have a somewhat of an understanding about this whole argument of morality and what good and evil actually are. You have to originally think about and apply maybe actions and morals and ideas into these categories so that you have enough of an understanding to be able to go past those categories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, okay, actually, Seth, you go. You go.
The whole walking before running aspect.
Okay. This is kind of like because the area the first thing that comes to mind when I think of this idea is people who grow up in really strong religious households, and the moment they go to college, they go like crazy, right? And so I would say that's someone that from the cradle has maybe been exposed to the idea of good and evil. But I also think, to your point, David, I think that when I was younger, I definitely was exposed to the same idea, right? But I think that my worldview has been shaped by my ability to stretch and change what those definitions are as I learn more things, right? And I think that it's difficult because I think that the time in my life where I felt the most lost was the time where I subscribed to the idea that there is no such thing as evil or good, and that everything's subjective, and that just because you think it's good doesn't mean it is, you know. And that everybody has a perspective, and all these things are true. But I think that being totally divorced from those ideas of what is good and bad for the world just left me feeling meaningless, you know. And so while I think that if you hammer it too hard with your child, this is good, this is bad, that can be detrimental. I think you're right in that you kind of need to expose them to those ideas so that they can begin working with them to figure out where it fits in their life, as they gain more experience.
Yeah. No, entirely. Because I do want to say this ascension. When I use that word ascension, I want to put an asterisk and say ascension means very different things for different people.
Yeah.
Man.
I
So
mean,
not itself as ascension as I'm moving completely past it, but I like how you said it, being able to really morph and change and work those ideas to fit them into your life and how you view the world.
Mhm.
yeah, I think like the best way to build a house, you have to build a strong foundation first, right? So I feel
Mhm.
like as a child, you still need to have like that foundational stuff. Like, hey, you can't do this, you can do this, don't do this, you know? Um, and then whenever you get older, then you can kind of start to experiment. You know, like I was told,
Being jealous is bad.
yeah, or
Let's use that one.
yeah, we'll use that. My dad has a lot of very crude metaphors. That popped to mind first. None of them are very PG. But he told to me when I was like fucking 5 years old. So, anyways, but like, I grew up very, very religious too. I grew up Roman Catholic,
Mhm.
and like to the point where I went to like a Catholic like pre-K through kindergarten, and then like first grade I went to public school. Like I didn't know my ABCs until I was in the first grade. Um,
Holy crap.
I knew what days I'm supposed to worship the Lord though, and I did know that VeggieTales smacked. Like it was so good.
Still
And
does.
Vegetale still
still
does,
That's
does,
yeah.
true.
dude. Dude, Lord of the Beans, I watched that like last month. That shit still holds up. That's
The one
still
that stays in my brain is when I think it was the potato who sang at the drive-through.
yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, it's
I always think of like when they were doing the one that was about like the walls of Jericho, and the grapes on top are like shooting slushies at them for some reason, like just the hose of purple slushy. Awesome.
incredible, right? Like it was so good. Actually, I forced Jim to watch it. My brother, he's renownedly atheist. I was like, no, we're gonna watch Lord of the Beans, and like the whole time he's complaining. It's like a 35-minute movie, Lord of the Beans, and it's like just Lord of the Rings, but it's Lord of the Beans, right?
Yeah.
And he was like complaining the entire time. He was like so pissed off. He was like falling asleep. I was like, no, Jim, you gotta watch it. And by the end of it, he was like so crabby, and I was like, Jim, you did not learn anything from the movie. Okay.
He did give it the
Honestly,
opportunity to teach him, you know?
I
Yeah,
think he could really, really benefit from watching it a second time.
I think so too. That's what I suggested. I was like, it was only 35 minutes. Let's watch it again.
Let's
Because
run it back.
Honestly,
yeah,
you could run it 3 times to get the length of a full length movie.
True.
huge. Or watch it 6 times, make it the length of the Fellowship of the Ring. But
One
anyway,
movie in the entire series.
oh yeah, one movie in the entire trilogy. No, but anyways, the point in fact is, um, I that that stuff stuck with me, and like a lot of the Christian teachings, I still hold to heart, because I was raised Christian, and I don't think like the foundational stuff is necessarily bad. Like treat others how you want to be treated. Like these things are bad. Like you shouldn't kill people. That's a bad thing. Like all that stuff you need to learn at a very early age because you're a kid. You don't know shit. If you're not taught like hey, you can't do these things like killing people, and then a kid goes and kills someone. Well, whose fucking fault is that? You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to say like it's the kid's fault because he doesn't fucking understand. He was never taught it, you know? And I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm about to be an uncle. Um,
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
True.
Anyways, yeah. So I think that foundational stuff is important.
So it's kind of almost like you can't call you can't say tell something like a child good and evil, which will make them feel bad about themselves, I think. But it's important to get down the foundations of, you know, what's right and wrong, I guess. Not good and evil, but right and wrong, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Well, do you think that, dude? Well, this is the other question. So I think part of this book, a lot of this book, is also talking about, you know, which David, you kind of mentioned earlier too, about you have to think about yourself, the morals and the values of what's good and evil, and not just take it for face value, right? But as a child, they they're so young, they don't understand very much, and they almost just do just kind of take everything at face value. At what point do you guys think that it's better to tell them, yeah, this is, I mean, obviously, you know, murdering someone, sure, extreme example, but like, at what point do we think that it's better to tell them to almost learn or kind of like figure out the values for themselves and just try to tell them straight up, like, no, this is like for sure bad and for sure good. You know, do you get my
Dare
question?
I say dare I say you yourself, if you were a parent, and obviously none of us are parents here, but
Yeah, I guess you don't have the experience yet.
yeah, but I would say that if I were to have a kid, I don't think I would blatantly have that conversation with them because I feel that is something that is more of a self figuring, a self reflection type of question. I think you yourself is have to want or decide to look into that aspect of your worldview, and you can't have somebody tell you, "All right, man, well, time to start looking into that." I don't know if that was your question.
So do you just kind of be like, um, so you never really, so for the question, it's like you never really tell them, hey, think about this. Is this good or bad? It's more of like you just kind of tell them, hey, this is good or bad. Because it's like I think like what the book's trying to also say is like, you know, as to children, you should have them kind of try to learn to think for themselves in that aspect
Mhm.
instead of just
Yeah.
putting it in their face. But at the
That's
same
kind
time,
of
it is a child, you know, so should you
yeah.
do that?
I definitely I think if you can put pound in the foundations well, and kind of how we were saying earlier, really build a good foundation, but not by absolutely hammering it repeatedly, over hammering it into the child, because that in and of itself, can be worse and lead to that feeling of I'm not good, or I'm a horrible person, or the depressing aspect of not thinking you're good enough or comparing yourself. But yeah, I think you need to. It's a fine line you gotta walk, in my opinion. You gotta really not overbear it on them, but give them the tools to build a foundation, and then through building that foundation, you would kind of, I guess, I guess the thought process that I'm getting to is you kind of have to just hope that they decide to look into it and figure it out themselves and come to you for advice.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm worried about is being at such a young age, they do need to be guided, you know,
Yeah.
in my
Mhm.
like it's like they do have to be explicitly told, in my opinion, at the start, hey, not saying like, hey, this person is bad, this thing specifically is bad, but in a general view, hey, doing this, not a good idea. Doing this, okay. You know, like, and then whenever they get old enough to whenever they can start actually thinking, because, you know, at a certain age, it's like they're just fucking doing, you know, they're just running around doing shit, you know, or stuff. Um, um, but at a certain age, they start to actually start thinking, you know, and then whenever they start thinking, then you can be like, hey, you did this thing. Why was that bad?
Yeah.
That's
You
kind of what
know,
I was gonna
or
say.
like,
Yeah, like if they explain it to them, I think.
yeah, you
Yeah.
shouldn't at a certain age, you shouldn't just be saying, hey, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
this. You have to say, why is this bad? Or why do people think this is bad? Is this bad, do you think? If not, why? You know? Good example. Let's say your kid gets into a fight. And then you ask, hey, well, did you start it? What happened? They're like, oh, well, you know, he was being annoying, so I punched him. Like, hey, you escalated this, so you are in the wrong here. Do you understand why you're in the wrong? Or, hey, no, he punched me first. Well, did you hit him hard? Did he fall? Who fell? You know?
Yeah.
At that
Hmm.
point, you know, yeah. Then opinions
I,
might play a role, but
yeah.
yeah.
I think kind of like I've never thought about this before, but I think the way to do it is almost to just explain it to them every time. Like even when they're like 6 months old and they don't even know what you're saying. Be like, this is bad. I think it's important to preface with I think, but I think this is bad because I think it's bad for you to hit that person because it hurts them and it's painful and you shouldn't be inflicting pain upon others, you know? And I think that's a big difference than I think a lot of times parents just go, that's bad. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. And as a kid, you don't learn anything from that, you know? Um, I think a lot of people don't realize that they owe their kid an explanation, even if the kid doesn't understand. Like, because
Yeah.
one day they will understand. And if you're not explaining it to them when they're young, like why you're going to suddenly start explaining it to them when they're older,
It's just
you
be
know?
annoying, huh?
Yeah,
I
and also like you're waiting on your kid to ask you to explain it.
yeah.
And I think we all know that's never gonna happen. I like there were so many times where I just didn't ask my parents why I just disagreed with them, you know? And it's like,
And I have a feeling like a lot of people are kind of subscribing to this mentality of like, hey, now they'll figure it out themselves. And in a lot of ways, like that's how a lot of people in the past kind of did it too, was hey, you know, they'll figure it out, you know? Oh, he's gonna go touch that live wire. Oh, he'll figure out he doesn't need to be doing that. You know? That's how I was raised in a lot of ways. And yeah, I
mhm,
got shocked and hurt a lot of times. I burned myself a lot. My dad would be like, hey, see that frying pan, go touch it. Like, okay. What the hell, dude? And he's like, hey,
that's crazy.
are you ever going to touch another frying pan?
It's kind of
No.
crazy.
So it's like that kind of stuff I get, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the time, like especially these days, people kind of treat kids like dogs now,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, oh, he's being annoying. Let me just throw his toy in front of him, his iPad. Oh,
Yeah.
look, he shut up. Stop barking. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like that's not right. You can't just say, hey, bad boy, bad, bad, don't do that, like
Yeah.
a
You have to
dog.
nourish
You know,
them.
yeah, you have to say, hey, what did we learn here? You know?
Yeah.
I want
Go
to add a little bit to the position I was taking.
Okay.
go free.
When I presented the idea of letting them figure it out, in my brain, I was idealizing this situation where, for example, let's say the live wire. Let's use a live wire example. They're gonna figure it out hitting the live wire. But in this situation that kind of and picturing in my brain, it was after building that foundation, it's as if you're giving them a multimeter before they go touch that wire. And I guess that's kind of how I was thinking of it, is having the kid have the tools to diagnose things themselves
Yes.
and figuring it out like that. is kind of what I was idealizing, not really just letting them full force figure it out.
Yeah, that's why I think it's important that you have to like, because you're supposed to be a parent, right? You're supposed to teach, guide, nourish. And that's why I
Hmm.
think it's important to explain. Because the other thing too about like explaining like why this is bad or good is that it now teaches a kid to actually think about things before like whatever it is. Like think of it, something as like, well, why might this be bad? Why might this be good? It just kind of teaches thinking, you know? Whereas saying this is bad and not giving an explanation is just kind of like out in one ear, out the other, you know?
Yeah.
There's
And
trying to do a lot of
also,
a study. Oh, go for it.
well, just an important note, David, you're also teaching your kid how to use a multimeter, which is a very important skill to know how to do. I feel like everybody should own a multimeter. Everybody should know how to use a multimeter.
I don't
Everyone
know how to
should
use
know
a
how to use a
multimeter,
multimeter. You know
so
how to use a multimeter.
What?
I'm gonna give you a
You know.
tutorial.
Yeah.
We're gonna
You
get
know
you.
how to use
You
one.
I
can
I
don't
know
figure
you
it
know.
I
out.
don't even know what multimeter is, I'll be honest with y'all.
This guy.
What the heck, Howie?
A lamp?
No, this guy right here, the
No,
orange
the
one.
thing that the lamp is shining on
The
with the
orange.
leads, the black and red leads.
Yeah, right there. Hold on. Right there. Where my
You can
hammer is
tell
touching.
you can tell by the coloring it's a Klein too, which I like
Yeah.
Klein.
Their cheapest
Bro,
model.
Howie's getting diced up right here, right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, let me look up a multimeter.
It just tells you electrical properties of the thing you're
Mhm.
touching it to.
Yeah.
A really
Voltage,
good one can
resistance.
tell you like voltage, amperage, and resistance.
I see.
Get yourself a good one.
You'll
Yeah.
use
Should
it
have an amp
in
clamp.
a lot of things. Yeah, you use it on a couple of things. Pretty useful. I ain't
All
gonna
right, I'll look into it.
lie.
When I
I
if
also
I
kind
own
of.
my own house, I'm 100% getting one.
Yeah, if I
Oh
have a
yeah,
house, I would
yes,
probably. If I
yes,
have a
yes,
house, I'd
yes.
probably
You
get
need
one.
one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Never will you ask the question, are these batteries bad again? Just pull out
True.
the probes.
Ooh,
It's a bad battery.
Continuity test.
I do like that.
Oh, I was gonna say there is this. Maybe y'all. I don't know. I couldn't point to the exact study, but I know there have been studies done on how a child's brain develops if you kind of talk to them as an adult.
Dude,
And I've
you got me
seen
do that stuff
instances of this.
as young as possible. I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen instances on the internet, of course, but I've seen instances where I see a kid have a conversation with their parent, and you can see the child actually critically thinking through the problem, even though they're a 4-year-old, 5-year-old. And that's just a critically thinking is just a good skill to have in any and all situations.
For sure. But then, you have parents that just hand your kids iPads.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on. We still have about 37 pages left to go. Uh, to the old and new tables, which does make up a bulk of the rest of the pages.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I did as I was reading through, I was like, oh my god, this chapter is long.
I feel like it's just like a bunch of bullet points summarizing kind of everything you said so far. Like in
Marky
it,
Mark code.
yeah.
Yeah.
In it, it talks about him. Like, he talks about creating again your own good and bad. Um, and how he loves those who create and enjoy life rather than hate life, and those who do nothing with life. Um, he talks about, uh, I love those who do not wish to preserve themselves. The downgoing ones do I love with mine entire love, for they go beyond. When he brings up the downgoing again, just a little callback. Now, I was low key actually kind of confused because he says in like paragraph 4, he says, "Thus demandeth my great love to the remotest ones. Be not considerate of thy neighbor." Um, which I think it could be a funny talking point. But like it sounds here, he's saying like, don't help others. And by downgoing, I remember talking about before, from what I remember, we kind of were like, oh yeah, that means kind of like giving up some of yourself to like help, I guess, or something like that. Um, so I kind of like looked more into it. And apparently by downgoing, he means just like sacrifice, like willing to sacrifice yourself and time for for something greater than oneself. Um,
So
but
you were
yeah,
off. You're viewing it more negatively than it was actually supposed to be viewed.
Yeah, exactly. Even they can be not considerate of thy neighbor. Like he doesn't mean it as, hate your neighbor, I don't think. He means it as just like you gotta give yourself worth and self-love first before anything else, I think.
It's that whole you can't fill a cup if your cup ain't full.
That's right. Isn't that right,
Next time
Connor?
your neighbor shows up asking for eggs, slam the door in their face.
Say I only got 6 eggs and they're all for me. Um,
Not over here, boys. Over here where I live at the commune. Damn near.
yeah, I'm kind of jealous of that. It must be pretty nice.
It is very nice. Neighbors be helping neighbors, man. Getting my eggs from my neighbors. At least
We got
some of them are
tomatoes
willing to
from our
share.
neighbors recently.
That's
They've been
cute.
growing some outside. Yeah.
That's
I'm
cute.
actually friends with like neighbors in my apartment now. I highly recommend.
It's so, dude, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Dude,
Um,
as soon as I buy a house, I'm building a chicken coop. I don't even care if it's in a residential area.
I
um,
like it.
but yeah, it really is just a summary of like everything you said. I don't know if anyone has like a specific paragraph that they marked or talks to them. If you do,
I marked the part where he talked about the gravity because I was wondering what exactly he was meaning by gravity in previous, but it kind of explained it pretty well right there. Just and we already talked about it too. So
yeah, he's getting a little repetitive, like, isn't he? Um, like, yeah, but like, it's just the same stuff. Focus on the future, achieve something. Um, One thing I did see here was him talking about a little bit about the past and traditions. When he talks about like the Holy Spirit, princes, uh, nobility, and all that stuff. Which is a good talking point because it brings up traditions. And I know traditions can be very opinionated about if they're good or bad. So here I am now bringing it up to you guys. How do you guys feel about traditions? What do you guys think about them? Do you think that they can hold you back from completing
depends on
something,
the
for doing something
tradition.
greater? There's something to be moved past, or are they something to hold on to?
Depends on the tradition.
God, this guy always
And
depends.
sitting ass.
It depends. It depends. It
And
depends.
sitting ass. Yeah, I have to, man. And I know Seth has to. I know Seth is gonna say the same thing. I know Connor's gonna say the same thing too.
No,
Tell him.
Connor's got an answer.
Oh, all
Nah,
right. Let's hear
man,
it.
I'm full force saying traditions are a bad thing.
Full force.
I kind of
Full
agree with Connor.
force.
Oh,
Anti-tradition over here.
I'm just
The
saying.
chums,
Look, we're split again. Yeah. I'm just saying, man. Traditions tend to hold back.
they do tend to hold back. Which, go for it, Connor. Hit him.
So look at anything. Look at our current political climate. Traditions are holding us back. And in a lot of ways, the people that hold on to traditions the most are the older generations. I know for a fact, as we get older, we're going to be in the same fucking boat, most likely, holding on to traditions. Say, well, we've always done it this way. Well, guess what? It's 2077, and fucking Keanu Reeves is blowing up Arasaka Tower. So what are we going to do now? Do you think your traditions still hold out? That's a little Cyberpunk 2077 reference right there. Uh, it's like, at a certain point, traditions are going to hold you back. And I think it's important to, especially young, start to realize this, because then as you get older, you won't be holding back future generations that are doing shit and stuff in a different way.
It's gonna be
Dude,
so hard for
Connor,
you,
It's gonna be
man.
Connor,
very hard.
I'm so happy you mentioned that because he even talks about unto your children's land shall ye love. Let this love be your new nobility, the undiscovered in the remote seas. For it do I bid your sails search and search. Unto your children shall ye make amends for being the children of your fathers. All the past, all the past shall ye thus redeem. This new table do I place over you. He talks about moving past traditions, exploring, going out to new for your children, Connor. And I like how you brought that up because I agree with you.
Yes, and I'm going to add on this point too. I feel like, especially now, everybody's an individual now, right? Everybody has to be, the person on the internet or the person in the social circle or the person in the family, whatever. They have to be the one that everybody wants to be around, right? I feel like nowadays, especially because of that, people are losing sight of what the purpose is in life. At the end of the day, the purpose is to create a better world. Every single day or every single year, whatever you want to say, at the end of your life, you should leave the world in a better place. And I have a feel, or especially with like older generations too, now, as they're reaching the end of that life, they're starting to get scared and they're starting to recluse. They're starting to like say, oh, well, you know, wealth, for example. I'm worried that I won't have enough with the $3 million in my bank account to live the last 5 years of my life comfortably. Like, you could probably distribute a good portion of that wealth, or maybe give it to your granddaughter who's in fucking college right now and eating ramen noodles every single night. You know, it's like you can leave a better lasting impact on the world if you just started to try to focus more on the world and not yourself. At the end of the day, our purpose in the world is to make it a better place and make the people in our lives better. Whether that's kids, significant other, or just nuclear family. You should always be trying to make the people in your lives and the people of the world's lives better.
I agree that you should do that. I disagree that all traditions are bad. And I want to say this because can't view all traditions in the same class because some traditions are heavily influenced by the culture that you are in and your own cultural identity. And I think traditions can help in the sense that it maybe brings you closer to your culture from wherever a person may be, and that allows them to, I guess, better value themselves, and in turn, kind of lead to what I said earlier of you can't fill other people's cup unless your cup itself is full. And I think that could be a good tool because it maybe would bring you closer to your family or maybe closer to the people around you and allow for better connections to be made and in turn a small community to be derived from that, and that in numbers is when people work best, in communities is when people work best. And I think some traditions can play a part in helping that process.
Okay.
So
I don't think that I think community is important. I think it is important because you can't be an outcast. I don't think that's good for you or anyone. Um, I agree with this that traditions can help communities stay together and come together. The what I see here though is the tradition itself isn't what's important. It's the community that's important. And I think that even then, it could also be important to even leave your community that's bonded through tradition behind so as you can reach a broader spectrum of people and things and experiences and helpfulness, um, which in a way just enlarges your own personal community. Um, with things like that, because I mean the thing is too, you can go into another extreme where your community could be like an evil community, a terrible community, and by holding on to traditions there, you do bad things. Um, so I think community is nice and important. I don't think necessarily tradition is one necessary for it, and two that important to follow as long as you have the community. Um, I think tradition does have a good way of holding people back because it forces people to think that they need to follow certain rules that were won based off a long time ago. and so why not even apply here to this current moment? And two, can literally stop you from doing what you need to do or the right thing because you're trying to follow tradition. Um, and so there's moments like let's say that there's moments in your life where you have to forego every single tradition that you've been a part of
Hold on, Ace Attorney has something to say.
because oh, I'm almost done because you need to do something better,
I also
and
want
so
to
you
say
have to
something.
leave the tradition behind. I think that in that case is always because the tradition is negative. All right, there you go, Ace turn.
Okay, Seth, do you want to go, or because I kind of this might turn it all around.
I'm on your side, but
Okay, I
yes, I
was gonna
would like to
say,
go. I'm pro tradition, but for a slightly different reason.
this one last thing. I think there's one fundamental thing that I am just realizing that we are all kind of forgetting.
Okay.
Well, I can't say that for Seth because you haven't gotten a chance to speak, but this is it. It's guys, we are the humans. Tradition can be literally whatever we want it to be. A tradition can be Seth's yearly trip to Mexico to help build houses. That in and of itself can be considered a tradition. No?
Well, I think a tradition is something that's based on old values. It might not, maybe not even necessarily old values, but something that
But
you
what
feel
makes
like
the
you have
value
to follow.
old?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
make
it's
it's something. It's
age.
something. A tradition. Okay, a different thing. A tradition can also be something that is almost like it must be followed in a sense, or it's like a certain schedule where like, oh, it has to be done, has to be done, has to be done. I would, if we're not talking about old, okay, we can remove old. I would say that might be something that's a tradition is, and I don't think that you necessarily should or even need to follow something like that.
I agree that you don't need to, but I think that's the point of a good tradition. A good tradition is romantic. A good tradition is fun. A good tradition doesn't make any sense. Like think about like going to an A&M game and doing the stupid cheer. I don't know what half that shit even means. It's ridiculous. It looks stupid, but man, it's fun. Or think about spinning the wheel after every book. We don't have to do that. It's not logical. It's not fair. We got two Nietzsche books in a row. But guess what? We spun the wheel and it was fun. Sometimes you do things not because they make any sense, but because continuity feels good. And I think in our current world where things are so impermanent and constantly moving, and a meme doesn't even last longer than a day anymore, it's nice to have something to hold on to every week or every month or every year or every time something happens, you know? And I think that there are a lot of traditions that hold us back.
Mhm.
And I think that you have to be careful and you have to examine these things that you're holding close to you and seeing like what's the reason behind it, you know? Like the Aggie shouts. The intention is to build community. That's a positive thing, you know? Or like a bar that has trivia night every Tuesday. The intention is to host an event that you can count on being there, you know, any Tuesday, right? But there are definitely traditions that are their intention was to suppress or to block things off from certain people. You know, I have an interesting experience with this recently, actually, because the wedding I just went to was a Greek Orthodox traditional wedding. So, like, the ceremony was an hour long, and apparently that's short. And there was all this chanting, and they said everything three times, and half the stuff they said in Greek, and half the stuff they said in English. I tried to follow along, all this weird symbolism, but I'm not gonna lie, I got lost. I had no idea what was going on. And in some ways, I think there's a part of me that's like, it's kind of silly to think that this is the only way your wedding ceremony can be done. This is the one way, right? But it was part of their community. It was a part of the Greek Orthodox faith, and it was interesting. I'm sure that the people who got to be a part of that wedding had been waiting their whole lives to get to do the part that they played in that wedding. So I understand the sentiment that you should be skeptical of tradition and you shouldn't do things just for the sake of doing them. But sometimes you should do things just for the sake of doing it. I think that's beautiful. I think it's artistic.
It's
It
absurd.
doesn't make any sense.
But you
It's
see,
absurd.
that's the issue though, is because like some traditions that might seem harmless 40 years ago to like that generation, to us would be fucking downright blasphemous, you know? Like I look at some of these
Okay.
old pictures of my dad when he was in his, college days and his what do they call the boys groups? What
Fraternity.
are they called?
Fraternities.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't go to college. Anyway, and it's like I'm not gonna just absolutely blast my dad on the internet, but I look at those pictures. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, oh yeah, this person was considered our founding father and all this other stuff. I'm like, why are you bragging about that? It's like that's not okay. And he's like, well, everybody did it. Like everybody wore this. It was our uniform. It's like that's like
Oh
that's
no.
not okay. That's not
Really
okay.
painting a vivid picture here, man.
Yeah, and then like my mom's like, well, but that's the thing is like that was just how it was back then. It's like that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's not a tradition that should stick around. And I look it up, and guess what? It's not a tradition that has stuck around at this university for good reason. It's like, yeah, and you just look at all the people in the picture, and you're like, I don't think that they're allowing some people in this group, man.
Oh, God.
And yeah, so it's like you're making it sound like a grand. Yeah, I'm really worried here, but anyways, um, and that's the thing is like that was the norm back then. Nowadays we'd be like pretty fucked up. I can't believe I'm looking at this, or that you're even bragging about it,
That you're my dad.
or that you're my dad. Because like I'll be like driving down the road and like he'll just be like, "Oh, look at that car! It has like a Pikachu wrap on it." He's like, "That person's woke." He's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "Back in my day, like you would never see a car like that. Like all the cars back in my day, son. Like you should see my 1967 Chevelle. It was beautiful." He's like, "Dude, I've heard this a million times." But
Oh,
Okay, you
my
should have seen the
Chevelle.
1967 Chevelle, dude.
I know it's like I really wish I would have at this point, so he'd stop bringing it up. But at the same time, it's like at the same time, maybe this is a sort of tradition. I'll look back on these days, like 40 years from now, and be like, that was fun. Like just having that little argument with my dad, that was fun, And
Mhm.
and I'll look back at this point, and maybe 40 years from now, it's like, I don't know, it would be fucking weird to us. Like
Fidget
Cop
spinners.
Spinning a wheel.
is
I don't know.
Cop is the AI president of the United States, and it's like, well, back in my day, we didn't have AI presidents, and then like all of us are like saying that, and then like all of our kids are like, dude, that's so AI intolerant. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You know what I mean?
It's over
It's
for
like,
that happens. It's gonna be a problem.
yeah, but
That's the old man hill I'm gonna die on.
maybe now I'm kind of swapping because if that is actually end up being a thing, I'm gonna die on that hill of no AI presidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
So
funny.
I don't know. That is an interesting thought. Maybe you're right. Maybe it does just depend because it's
I
like
yeah.
I'm using very specific examples, and
Mhm.
you guys are using very specific examples, and
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we're both right. It's just maybe it
Yeah.
does just depend in this case, but
Now,
I,
look
I was
what's
I was
happening now.
I was going to say as you revise the statement, I don't think you should force a tradition on someone. Okay. No matter the
Yes.
tradition.
Yes.
I don't think we should hold traditions in absolute either. That's
Yes.
the other thing. And I think that traditions should almost be revisited. You know, you should take time to look back at it again and say, is this a good tradition? Like, is this something a tradition that we actually need or want? Does that just need to be revised? So I'll paint it like
I
that. Traditions in that aspect.
I I really like your first point, Howie, because when I think of all of my examples about the traditions that I like and enjoy being a part of, the thing that makes them beautiful is that everyone is a willing participant.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, everybody's having fun doing the cheers, you
I think
know.
that was probably the most important part is the willingness.
Yeah.
Yes, that every single person in the room is like, this is how I want to do this, and they don't necessarily have to have a logical reason for why, but that it needs to be something that it is,
It's something that's easy to
inclusive.
do
Yeah. Yeah.
and doesn't harm anyone and brings people together.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It is just a matter of, I think, revisiting, not holding in absolutes, and not forcing on people. I think that's where it becomes difficult, is when people are like, we have to do it this way. It's a tradition. I think that's where
Mhm.
the issue comes into, um, and why traditions can be bad. I do. I mean, obviously, not everything's black and white, but I
All
that's
I'm hearing
the
from y'all
important
side
part.
is that Christmas is evil, guys. I'm just
These guys hate holidays.
these
These
guys,
guys
they
hate the
hate
4th of
Christmas.
July.
They
They
hate
hate
Thanksgiving. They
fireworks.
think Hanukkah is stupid. They're just
This is
Uh,
crazy right now.
no,
that's a
the
chummer
I'm
for you.
more
That's a chummer for you.
I'm more like on the boat of, if a tradition is nonsensical, if it doesn't help anybody, if it's just like no one at this point in time is enjoying it anymore, it doesn't need to be a thing. It's just holding us back at
Or
that
even
point.
if it's
You
harmful.
know,
Yeah, if it's harmful.
if it's
Dude.
harmful, especially if it's harmful. Like if I see some person, like some 60-year-old tradesman cutting zip ties with scissors, I'm gonna say, dude, have you never heard of dikes? You know, like use your diagonals, man. Use your wire cutters, like anything else. You know,
Don't use it.
don't use scissors, man. What are you doing? Also, why do you have scissors in your tool bag? And he's like, well, I always carry scissors in the tool bag. It's like, well, I get sometimes scissors, but still, dude, you're missing the point. You know, check these out. These are really good. They're gonna cut them in a flash.
Nice little
Yeah.
You
flush
know,
cut.
it's like little stuff like that. I guess in that case, it's not harmful. He's still getting the job done. But it's like, man, evolve with the times. These have been around for 100 years. You're not even 100 years old. Maybe you are. Who knows? Some of these
I don't
guys
know.
are.
It kind of sounds like you're trying to put your own morals on. I
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
maybe you're right.
You just gotta stop
Maybe
telling people to
maybe
do it.
whenever we have our laser wire cutters here in 20 years, and I'm still using my old rinky dink mechanical ones. Who
I won't
knows?
talk to you.
I you can ask David though. Actually, I did evolve over the weekend. I got me some wire cutters with a spring in them.
He got the
Ooh.
he got the spring.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
There you
why I
I've
go.
just
had the
assumed all of
spring
them had
before.
springs. I'm not gonna lie.
What's the other thing though? That's another thing that's
Yeah.
important, is evolving with the times. Like letting things that are more useful and good come in, and not just hating on them. Like actually
Yeah.
using them. Like AI.
Yeah, I
Oh, hold
I'm
on.
gonna say
Snuck that one in there.
I'm kind of with Howie on the AI aspect, but at the same time, I know AI causes a lot of environmental damage, but I think that AI is not the same AI that the public use.
What do you
Potentially.
mean?
I mean, you could connect to the ChatGPT via API for the longest time. It wasn't until they released that actual chat bubble thing that people
Yeah.
started to gain traction, but you could connect to it for a while. Um, so I'm kind of just saying, the bigger powers that play, the bigger corporations, things like, or other,
Well,
bigger corporations that want to
I
harvest your
well,
data. They're using a different type of AI. Is
part of
kind of
it
what I'm.
though is that now AI uses a lot more CPU, uses a lot more data than it did before. And because of that, because it uses a lot more CPU, then like the servers are of course going to run hotter. And in that aspect, that's because like every single time it goes, like something is generated, it goes through multiple layers, like gosh, I don't even know how many, probably like tens of thousands of layers of like matrix multiplications. Whereas before, it would maybe go through like, I don't know, 100. Um, so it needs to run through all of these all at the same time, handling I, who knows how many requests a second.
Hmm.
And so that's what makes it run hot, is that the scale has gone up so much. Um,
That's kind
but
of what I'm referring to, the scale aspect. But that being, I think obviously bigger corporations have access to much more powerful AI than the public.
Oh, 100%. But I also think this is something that's bad for the public with AI. Is how many times have you just been trying to have like a human conversation, be like, "Hey, what's your opinion on this?" or "Why do you think they do this?" And then someone's like, "Oh, well, let me chat GPT it."
Oh, okay. Well, then
Like,
those people are just far gone. That's a different type of. They're lost.
I'm just trying to have a human conversation. I want your opinion. I don't want a robot's opinion. You know?
yeah, as people can't think for themselves anymore.
Yeah, that's my problem. People are dumb.
Critical thinking, dude.
Critical thinking out the window.
It's a tool. It's a
Well,
tool.
actually, people aren't dumb now. People are gonna be really
Yeah,
serious.
no, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Ooh.
for sure.
literally like texts will call me, right? Like new texts, like we just got like 3 new techs in our company. They'll call me, they'll be like, "Hey, I'm having issues with this unit." I'll be like, "Well, did you check this, and that?" And they're like, "Yeah, I checked that." I'm like, "Well, have you tried this?" Or, "Well, what?" And you're like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, what do you think would cause this?" And they're like, "Well, like ChatGPT did, and it said that." I'm like, "Dude, you already lost me. Hang up."
Hang up, try again.
Yeah.
Come back to me.
Like you didn't even try to start critically thinking. You just like ran
Yeah.
through, okay, ChatGPT says check 24 volts. Okay, did that. Okay, low line voltage. Let me check that. Like, come on, dude. Critically think.
It's just so easy. It's so easy to just be like, oh yeah, let me just, yeah, oh, that's it. Yep, okay.
If you're
It's so
absolutely
easy to
stumped,
not
look
think
up
for
on
yourself.
Google, use the Google AI, sure. But at the end of the day, it's
Cool.
not going to give you an answer. It's not going to give you the exact answer you're looking
Yeah,
for.
that's true. You do need to figure, like, you have to have an intuition or understanding of the problem. Because, like, then you can use the AI to actually, like, get more into specifics. Because, like, you might know the solution, but you might not know the exact things that need to be done for the solution to come into form. And, like, in that case, like, yeah, sure. It's like an easier Google search.
Mhm.
Um, well,
Like we lost the plot of the conversation.
no,
Yeah.
well, the thing is I feel like we almost kind of came somewhere in the middle. We came to a better aspect of like not entirely hating traditions and not thinking they're the best things ever, and like finding like this middle ground of like, well, like
It
good
depends.
and yeah, yeah, but figuring out the line of where it depends. That's the
True.
important
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, but the rest of this old and new tables, I literally like didn't have much. It was literally just like me summarizing everything he said. Um, he hates piety. Uh, he loves the earth.
Oh, I like
Uh,
this one sentence.
okay, hit me.
He said, "Oh, my brethren, there is much wisdom in the fact that much filth is in the world."
Mm. Oh yeah, I remember this part.
That was 14. But again, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just highlighted the sentence. I didn't run with notes this time.
Well,
I'm gonna keep it real.
another line above that that kind of I like is there's in the world much filth, so much is true, but the world itself is not there for a filthy monster. I also like that one where it's saying, he's like talking about there's a lot of filth out there. But that doesn't mean that the world itself is
Oh,
filthy.
this was kind of talking about the a person too, just the aspect of you might have some cynical aspects of you, but that in and of itself doesn't make you an entirely cynical and disgusting person.
Yeah, it doesn't like mean that the entire thing is like black and white, It doesn't mean that, just because someone
Hmm.
has something in them doesn't mean that they're entirely that one thing.
Yeah.
There's like, but at the same time, I think that when he talks about there's wisdom in the fact that much filth is in the world, it's still like not being illusioned to the point where you think that everything's just tears and roses, it's still kind of being aware
Hmm.
that like, yeah, things aren't great. Not everyone is only great. It's kind of, I guess, being aware that people have bad and good aspects, and so does the world. Let me see what else. So he also thinks, he also talks about like, oh, there's a callback about, you should only teach and fight for the right people. We talked about that before, where it's like, don't let everyone into your bedroom. The next chapter, the
Convalescent.
convalescent. So I looked that up. Convalescent means recovering from sickness. Someone who's recovering from
Oh, okay,
sickness.
cool. Thank you for sharing because I did not know what convalescent was and I didn't search it up.
Yeah, because I was like reading it, and it like said the word a couple more times. I'm like, okay, I just gotta
No, yes,
figure out what
that
this
happens to
means.
me sometimes.
Um,
Need the actual context.
but basically, what happens is I don't. He's like having his thought or something. He's like, "Come to me, thought, come to me," and then like he's like, "Oh, there it is. Ah, this is disgusting, disgusting, disgusting." And then he like goes into a state of shock or something and is sick for like 7 days. Um,
Bro starts to hear the animal speak to him.
yeah, the animals start talking to him, like, yo, bro, you all right? Hey, don't speak.
The eagle
You're
the
sick.
eagle brought him what, sheep
Two
and
lambs, yeah.
apples, yeah.
Um, but I think that the point he was coming to was the idea of the disgust of man and eternity. So, okay, now we're kind of getting into something a little bit different, which is, I think, his idea of like eternity, which he also brings up in the Great Loving.
I
I
think it
think
was
it
one
was
of the
like in
later
Great
chapters,
Loving.
right?
Oh no, it was like the last one,
Yeah.
the Seven Seals. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so we're kind of getting closer to this idea of eternity and existence, which is something new, which is nice. Um,
It's
just happy for that.
something new. Yes.
um, there's this one part where we kind of mentioned, or I kind of mentioned last time about like where the dwarf happened and like, and the beginning coming to now, which is the moment, and everything could have been, everything might have already happened. I think this is kind of coming to his terms of existence and eternity, which is by the way, is like this thing that he is like this getting disgusted by this idea. Um, I'm gonna read this real quick. Everything goeth, everything returneth. Eternally rolleth the wheel of existence. Everything dieth, everything blossometh forth again. Eternally runneth on the year of existence. Everything breaketh, everything is integrated anew. Eternally buildeth itself the same house of existence. All things separate, all things again greet another. Eternally true to itself remaineth the ring of existence. Every moment beginneth existence. Around every here rolleth the ball there. The middle is everywhere. Cricket is the path of eternity. And so I think the idea that he's trying to represent, that was kind of represented before, of if everything can happen, then it has happened, and everything that if everything could have happened, then it will happen, is this ring. He mentions a ring of this eternal circulation of events. And that's why he's getting so upset, because he's seen that the great disgust of man, he mentioned on the next page, it strangled him and crept into his throat. And the great disgust of man is that he sees it as even the like greatest man was not much bigger than the smallest man. And the smallest man always returns. He says here, my sign sat on all human graves and could no longer arise. My sign in questioning croaked and choked and gnawed and nagged day and night. Ah man returneth eternally. The small man returneth eternally. And two, even the greatest man, that was my disgust at man. And the eternal return, also the smallest man, that was my disgust at all existence. And so he's talking about how he sees this eternity as a continuous ball that rolls, and all of these events and people and factors will just happen again. You might have a great, it's like the ebb and flow, you might have a great rise and then a downfall. And he's kind of coming to terms with this, and he's kind of realizing that no matter what, there will always be, to quote unquote, in his opinion, the smallest man, a small man. And the great man will never truly be that great. He'll never get, he feels like we'll never really get the Uberman. And so to him, he sees what life is currently like and how he hates it and how he knows that it will always just return and be like this again at some point. Which kind of makes me think about like how history repeats itself and stuff like that. And so I guess, this is the talking point. Well, I mean, do you guys think that this is true? Do you guys think we really are like people just like life is kind of on a cycle, like of ebb and flowing of, maybe you have these great moments, but then we always just kind of go back down to these negative moments and up and back and forth and back and forth. And there's no real incline. I mean, does history just always repeat itself?
So I'm a big proponent of history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme.
Mark Twain.
And yeah, there are moments where there's a lot of similarities, but I do truly think if you dig down into it, there are new things all the time. And so I think the reason we feel like history repeats itself is because our little brains love to just categorize and find patterns.
Pattern
So
recognition.
Very true.
so the idea that it repeats is like very comforting for what our minds are built to do. But I think that I don't think it repeats. I think there are ebbs and flows though. I think there's a balance. I think that feels very real to me. Waves, I feel like are something that exists in a lot of different areas of life. Um, but I think it's always going somewhere else.
Do you, so real quick, I want to make a comparison. There's this like graph or something. I think it's like an economic graph of I guess like the economy and like inflation depression. And so like you have this wave of inflation depression, right? It's like a continuous up down up down. Um Even though inflation isn't real. Um but overall it still goes up this like forward slope. Like it's still following a slope of up,
Mhm.
which I guess is like the value of currency. I forgot what it was, but like it was a good thing. The going up is a good thing economically. But you still like along this like linear path. It's not a linear path. It's up and down. It's up and down. You think it's kind of like that where we like are continuously like going up, not even like technologically or innovation wise, but like in the
Ooh,
sense that Zarathustra's speaking of, but just
dude,
an
you know
up
what
and
this
down.
makes me think of?
A good question.
You know what this really makes me think of? And it was in screw tape letters. How it wasn't just one point. It was all of these tiny little decisions that led to whatever, your downfall or your uprising.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the minuscule options, the really small
Mm,
that led up to the slow degeneration, slow. I forgot what the other word they used in screw tape letters.
Yeah. I think I think to combine both of these thoughts, I think that you're never going to make the right decision every time. But if you're okay, in quotes, right decision, you're never going to be making the right decision every time. But as long as you are on average picking the right decision more often than not, you will trend upward, right? I don't like the economic example because I don't want to get off on a tangent, but we like invented economics, so we can just make the rules
mhm.
however we want them to be in order for it to keep going up. But I think that idea, when it comes to how we've advanced as a species, is still true. I think about the fact that this blanket right here is probably softer than like 90% of the fabric that existed 100 years ago. And I don't even know where this, it probably costs like $20 on Amazon. Like there are things that I have access to as a relatively normal person that would absolutely blow a medieval king out of the water. I mean, I could go back to the, the 1500s, find the most powerful man in the world and shoot them in the head with a pistol. And I- I'm just a guy, there, we've advanced for sure. That is 100% happened.
Quality of
That doesn't
life.
mean, yeah, that doesn't mean that there aren't areas where we are trending downwards right now. But
Yeah.
I think on the large scale, I heard a thought recently, um, expressed by my boy Andrew Callahan of Channel 5 uh, fame, the last real journalist. Um, and he was pretty much talking about how he was like, yeah, well, like in the short term, we're doomed. It's too late. The kids can't read. Like, no one knows how to think anymore. Like, in the next 10 to 20 years, it's over. There's no fixing this. But 50, 70 years from now, we're going to figure it out. We always figure it out. You know, sometimes it takes a long time, but we figure it out.
Yeah. Now, kind of on topic, kind of off topic. The people that subscribe to the cycle idea, right? They're like, oh, well, with how things are going, we're trending towards a revolution. Like that has to be the next thing.
Mhm.
The next step into late republic is early empire. There's got to be a revolution, or either late republic into collapse or late republic into empire, right? That's just the trend, right? Well, it's like, well, nowadays with the modern government and modern countries, it's not as easy to just say, oh, well, let me go grab my musket and rebel against the king. It's like, no, you're
Mhm.
rebelling against Tomahawk missiles that can wipe out you
Yeah.
and your entire fucking neighborhood in a split second. And that button can be pressed thousands of miles away. It's
Yeah.
like that isn't an option anymore. And the whole idea that people subscribe to is like, oh, well, if the government gets really out of hand, I'm just going to go walk up to it with my gun and then that'll be it. It's like, no, not a thing anymore, man. Like I said, Tomahawk missiles, they are terrifying. um, yeah. So it's like, no. Uh, I don't think. I think if the cycle was a thing, it's been thoroughly broken, kind of thing. So it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, times have
it,
changed too
it's either
much.
it's either broken or it never truly existed. And like you said, it's just been a trend this whole time. Just
Mm.
a downfall into an upfall, or a rise.
You can't really walk in with an army anymore. Um,
Yeah.
but the question then becomes though, is like the downfall something else now, where it's more of a mental game or a political game versus a military game. Um, that's a question because times have changed. And sure, you can't walk on with an army anymore, but downfall can seem different now. Could be different somewhere else.
Oh, wait, you're so right. I was actually okay, you're actually so right. Downfall is so different now.
Or
And
spiritual game. Um,
yeah, dude, it's because a downfall could be you could easily cause I mean, I don't know how much I don't know how much I'll agree, but I think you could easily say that a downfall can be simply caused by fracturing a culture. Culture wars in and of
yeah.
itself can cause downfalls. I mean, shit, look at us right now in the USA.
Yeah.
Fucking how it led to this point where now fucking we're skimming away from authoritarianism by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah. No, and great point of bringing up America though, because also our country is so in debt, an astronomical debt. Any other point in history, our country would have been dissolved. It would have ceased to exist.
Yep.
But for some reason, we're still kicking and we're still spending money like there's like we got unlimited amounts of money.
It's almost like
So it's
money's
like,
an imaginary thing. Imaginary number.
right. So it's like, I
Yeah.
honestly, maybe as soon as we got off the gold standard, it just didn't matter anymore. That might have been the point right there.
Maybe.
Maybe it's always just been about money.
I mean,
Yeah.
the iPad kid thing is an issue. I think that's the main issue going on right now. I think politics will be fine at the end of the day. I think stuff will change, things will happen, but it will turn out fine. I think the future generations is the issue, the potential issue.
Yeah. I mean, shit, boys. I know we don't feel like it. I know we feel we're old, but we're still the future generation.
I'm just
That's
imagining
true.
like
Yeah, you make. I mean, that's true.
I guess, but
I guess
I
we
just can't
could
help
do
but look
something.
back. I just can't help but look back and see what else is coming down the pipe and go, man, it's not that bad.
dude, just
You know,
imagine like 60 years from now, right? Or fucking 40 years from now, you know, we'll all be in like our mid 60s, right? And then some like what are they called? Like Zoomers now? What's like the most
Alpha,
Zoomers, I
Gen
think.
Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, yeah, that's
Alpha?
it.
Alpha? Imagine like a Gen Alpha president comes up and he's just like presidential inauguration address is just like, chat, we're cooked. You know, treasurer can't count. Secretary of State doesn't even know how to spell his title. We're cooked, chat. I'm not even reading off of the
Well,
teleprompter. This is all just ad lib, you know? Like
Well, I think hopefully. Well, the thing is, like, I think like if we're in our mid-60s, our generation will mostly be in power by then, and so
maybe right.
hopefully we can help the successors. You know, hopefully at that point we can help them.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's well, or that whole generation just gets skipped and they never get to be
Yeah.
in power.
There's
That's a
Millennials.
potential thing that are
What was
exactly. It's like
what happened? Yeah. Millennials in the silent generation wasn't that one?
I think it's silent generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silent generation was one.
It's like depending on how the power is transferred, like an entire generation could just go without being in charge, depending on.
That's
But I
very
think
true.
the reason the guy said what he said in the podcast is because he was like, I think that there will be kids who grow up who see their parents and what the technology did to them, and they just will be so anti-tech. Like they will be looking for any alternative because they'll see it as something that stole their parents from them. You know, and that's what
Dude.
really makes serious change is
yeah.
when an entire generation of people is like, this is fuck this, you know.
That's a very good point.
So
There's a movie. This is kind of off topic, kind of on topic. There's a movie where like this dude gets like transported in time or something, or like an alternate dimension or something, where he has like an average IQ level, but like the rest of the
Oh, I
world,
know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking about.
has like
Oh, I know this
idiocracy.
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
idiocracy. That's what it is. But yeah, like basically just for the listeners, but basically like everybody else has like an IQ of like 60 or something like that, and it's like they just instantly like promote him to like the president of the world or some bullshit like that, and it's just like
He went from
because
being a
he's
prisoner
so
to president of the world.
yeah.
Plants
So
need electrolytes, huh?
yeah, so because like they're watering their plants with Gatorade because Gatorade
Yeah.
is the best thing for them apparently. It's like, no, we should do it with water. It's like, holy shit, how did you
This
think of
guy's a
that?
genius.
The plant,
They're like,
and then he has to say the plants told me they don't believe him or they don't
yeah.
understand his logic. It's like I said, fake talking to plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so worried that that is our future at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whatever it is, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We'll be along for the ride.
Dude,
Hey,
it'll get
it's up
better,
to us to
boys.
fix it. I think it'll get
It's
better.
it's
It'll get better.
it's gonna get worse. Obviously, it gets better. Gosh, it feels like we're already more. It feels like this past 1.5 years have been. I swear, dude. But it'll get
Yeah.
better.
I think so too. The Great Longing. I
Yeah,
didn't
please.
I didn't have much
Oh.
about this one. Um Basically he taught himself free will and freedom from others' opinions and strength and love. He basically was like, I only need myself and I love everyone. I'm strong. And he's like basically talking to his soul about it. He's like, yeah, I gave you all this. I'm giving you everything. And at the end of it, he's like, so now you should sing. You should just be joyful and happy. Which,
And then we get the second dance song.
yeah, then we get a second dance song where he's like, talks about life. Oh, Seth, we got another song for you.
Oh no.
We got another
Oh,
song for you, Seth.
dude, you never made this song.
I never made the song.
Sorry, this is your chance to redeem yourself. Um,
Nah, we know he's not gonna do it. He's going to Bachelor, or he's going to is it Bachelor or wedding?
No. We're gonna do it live, so he can redeem himself.
Oh,
No.
The song is super quick too, so it's like perfect. But
Super quick.
anyways, so the second dance song, he sings basically. He's talking about the beauty that is life. It's kind of like how we had a comparison before with life and wisdom, and he kind of harkens back to it here, with his like metaphors on life, like how it can be too intense and scares you, but you always want it, and when it like seems to be far away, you want it even more. We had a whole conversation on that. I don't think we need to get too much into that, but yeah, that's basically what he's doing here. Um, he's singing for the beauty of life, so he's kind of getting to this point now, to the end of his conclusion, where he's like, you know, things do suck, and we've like noticed this in a couple past chapters. You know, he's talking about like, oh, things suck, but you should still sing and be joyful and happy and all that stuff. You know, filth of the world and all that stuff. Um, one thing I do
Banger.
want to harp harp on here is something interesting. I'm gonna read it. Thereupon did life look thoughtfully behind and around and said, O Zarathustra, thou art not faithful to me. Thou lovest me not nearly so much as thou sayest. I know thou thinkest of soon leaving me. There is an old, heavy, heavy booming clock. It boometh by night up to thy cave. When thou hearest the clock strike the hours at midnight, then thinkest thou between 1 and 12 thereon. Thou thinkest thereon, O Zarathustra. I know it, of soon leaving me. Yeah, answered I hesitatingly, but thou knowest it also. And I said something into her ear, and amongst her confused, yellow, foolish tresses, thou knowest that, O Zarathustra? That knoweth no one. So it's interesting how Zarathustra is starting to talk about leaving life, you know? I don't know if it's because he's getting old or if it's because he's choosing it, but I don't know. It's an interesting addition to our story now. Um, and apparently he says something to life that the greatest secret that no one knows. So whatever that could be. But yeah, so it's just a little addition to our story. And now I think it's time for the concert. Seth,
mm-hmm.
Seth, could you please?
Starting at the three where he starts counting.
Yeah, I'll count for you. Okay,
That was
I'll be
so
your backup singer.
We got some ad libs up
okay.
in here.
Okay, you
Yeah.
ready?
Nice guys.
Yep.
Y'all better,
All right. Can I get a countdown, please?
y'all better sync up real well. Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
1,
Oh man, take heed.
2,
What saith deep midnight's voice indeed?
3,
I slept my sleep.
4,
From deepest dream I've woke and plead.
5,
The world is deep
6,
and deeper than the day could read.
7,
Deep is its woe.
8,
Joy deeper still than grief can be.
9,
Woe saith, hence, go!
10,
But joys all want eternity.
11,
Want deep, profound eternity.
12.
Why does he end with the
Ironically, that went
number?
kind of hard.
Yeah. You can tell that was dreaming.
Oh,
Dude, I think
man.
we just got a. I think we just got a Spotify intro for the videos, bro.
Dude. Yo, we should start
No,
Spotify artists.
please.
We already got Spotify podcast. We might as well do Spotify artists now.
Yeah, dude. Same
Um,
account. Dig into music.
a whole new audience just waiting to be discovered. Well, so that's the second dance song. He talks about eternity again. Um, maybe who knows?
Seven Seals.
Yeah. the seven seals, and this is where he really gets into eternity. I kind of wrote not too much here. It,
I was starting
it
to
was
get lost
it
over
was
here,
a
man.
little.
I ain't even gonna lie.
I was about to say it was a little confusing. Um, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like it's him trying to come to terms with all the things he's done in his life, and, like all the good stuff, maybe even the bad stuff. And he talks about like loving eternity. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish we could talk about it. Please, if someone has anything, I'm begging. I'm begging. Please.
Dude, this is where, like I said, this is where I started. My brain started being, this is a lot of rambling.
Maybe he's
I
going
know there's
crazy.
nice, I know there's nice and fun and cool ideas in here, but this is at the end of the reading, so my brain was starting to lax out a little bit.
I think he might have spent too much time in the cave with this one. Truly.
Send that one back to the cave.
That one
I,
stays in the cave.
I think he's just talking about like good attributes because he talks about if ever
Mhm.
my wrath have burst graves, shifted landmarks, or rolled old shattered tables into precipitous depths, which I think is him like talking about like trying to advocate for the end of the old gods and all that stuff. And then he talks about if ever a breath hath come to me of the creative breath, being creative, creating. Um, if ever my mind hath mingled the furthest with the nearest, fire with spirit, joy with sorrow, and the harshest with the kindness. Combining good and bad and, making it like opposites be one and the same, like drawing gray lines, not having everything be good and bad. Um, if the exploring delight be in me, which impelleth sails to the undiscovered, the seafarer's delight be in my delight. He like, exploring, going out and exploring. If my virtue be a dancer's virtue, and if I have often sprung with both feet into gold emerald rapture, having joy, singing, dancing. If ever I have spread out a tranquil heaven above me, and have flown into mine own heaven with mine own pinions, if I have swum playfully in profound luminous distances, and if my freedoms of vain avion with wisdom hath come to me, though there is no above and no below, throw thyself out, outward, backward, thou light one, sing, speak no more. I mean, I feel like a lot of this is just kind of him talking about all the good things he's done and preach, and then coming to terms with like maybe him dying or his death, and that's why he like loves eternity.
Excited for eternity.
Yeah, but like
So
yeah, I don't know. It's
Zarathustra's gonna
complicated.
die.
Dude, we're getting to. I mean, we're on the fourth and last part. One can assume what might happen at the end.
Zarathustra is going to become immortal. He's
He's gonna
going
He'll
be
to
for
be.
all
be the
eternity.
downgoing and overcoming.
It's gonna be that cycle. He'll come back. He'll be alive again.
Yeah, when you reread
Cycle.
this,
Ian
you
is
go
like,
reread
there's a
this.
Zarathustra in all of us.
Guys, I have bad news. There's a Zarathustra part 2.
I guess we gotta read it if we really want to get the experience of
You gotta get the
Zarathustra.
full experience.
Dude made a Second Life account. Got to read his whole Second Life.
The eternity life.
Boy, I swear to God, if we get another Zarathustra book, we're respinning or sorry, another Nietzsche book.
There's only one left, and we will respin the wheel if we get it. Um,
Dude, I just know we're gonna get it.
we're going to respin the wheel. We will not get a
We get it
Nietzsche
a
book.
second time.
Shoot, dude, if we get a second time at that point, I might just have to be like, well, guys, I think it's just fate. I think we have to.
No, it's best 3 out of 5 at that point.
What if we get it for a third time, Connor?
Fuck.
I gotta
Then
go
we
with
need
it.
a new wheel.
Throw the whole wheel away.
You got to
Just get a
recreate the
whole
wheel
new
at that.
one. Well, we have the fourth and last part. Read half of it. I think we read up to, let's see, it's 100
Page
pages.
50.
I think let's
Fourth
read,
part's so long.
up to the greeting.
8 pages each.
We'll end on noontide, chapter 70.
He's
70?
been going on and on about that old noontide.
Maybe we'll see it come. Maybe it's coming.
Something he mentioned. He said something about golden bark, and I didn't really fully understand what that's supposed to be.
Dude, chapter 70 is like not halfway through on my book.
It's halfway
you
through
might-
mine.
It's about halfway through for us.
You might have the
There's like
Zarathustra part 2 in yours.
mine ends with the sun. Oh, I guess there's a large portion of it that's like formatted in this weird, like it looks like this. It's
Yeah.
only covering like half the page.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it's not like that for you guys.
No, I have a part like that too. It's right. Oh, somewhere here. Yeah.
Okay.
A good chunk of
Read
that's
up to the
basically-
noontide.
No, through the noontide.
Oh,
Up to
through
the
the
greeting.
noontide.
Up to the greeting.
Up to the greeting.
So
Okay.
through the
That is
noontide.
okay. Through the noontide.
That way we can
To
see
the
what the
greeting.
noontide is.
Zarathustra,
And
the
boys,
noontide.
2 more, and then we can spin the wheel and get a new book.
Oh my god, I'm actually so excited.
And maybe
for a
play
new
some
book.
Civ.
Oh, we
Oh
might be
my
able to.
god, I want to play Civ so bad.
We are still behind
Spin
on the
the
schedule,
wheel.
but
Well, yeah, we gotta go straight to spinning the wheel. Maybe after we spin the wheel, we can play some Civ.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't realize you guys wanted to lose so bad.
Dude,
Shut
shut
up.
up. Shut up.
bro, this
Shut up.
freaking
Shut up.
guy, dude. Connor, you learned nothing from
This
our
guy.
sessions.
No.
All
Well,
right.
now we have to
Well,
show them with action.
All right, guys, it's late.
it is late.
Booty.
Ugh.
It's time.
That's the
Good
lead
sesh
winner.
though. Good sesh.
Great sesh. It's been a while.
Yes, great
We
sesh.
gotta get
It
back
has
into
been
it
a while.
Mhm.
Next
Gotta
week.
get that. We
Next
have to get
week.
that double weekly so
We
that we can
have
be
to.
ahead and
Yes.
then we can play Civ.
All right.
Oh,
Well, y'all have a great
sorry.
night.
Sorry, off
Y'all
topic. I
too?
just checked both Howie and Seth's nose on camera. This is funny.
What?
Huh?
With my mouse, I'm picking y'all's nose.
Leave my nose alone, bro.
Hey,
Oh,
Leave my
I just got
nose
hey,
David. I
alone.
just got
stop!
David.
Stop!
Oh,
Wait,
David, I got
Stop!
your nose.
Stop, dude, stop.
Nope, I got
Chill
your
out.
nose.
I'm hanging
Okay.
up.
I'm
just
kicking
put
this
hanging
guy
up.
out. I'm kicking this guy out.
I'm hanging up.
I'm leaving.
All right.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night,
See
y'all.
ya.
Goodbye.
Leave
See ya.
tonight.
Thank you for listening to today's book club. If you want to support us, please feel free to leave a rating and review on wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so either one of those would be great help. Also, leave a follow. That'd be amazing too. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, please leave some comments, like the video, subscribe. Another way you can help support us is we are Amazon affiliates, which means you'll see in the description wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast on the episode, there will be a link to the book that we are currently covering, or if we spin the wheel to select our next book, you'll also see a link to the next book that we will be covering as well. And these links are to the books the exact same books that we are reading during the podcast. So, if you're going to read the book anyways, it'd be a great help if you could use the link. It's going to be no additional cost to you, and we do get a small uh, percentage of the proceeds. So you get a book, and we also get benefits. It's a win-win, honestly. And even if you don't get, like, even if you don't use the link, I still recommend getting the book. One, because it helps to read what we're reading, so you can kind of have some more context into what we are discussing, as well as having your own book. We're not covering everything in the book on the podcast. That's impossible to do in an hour and a half, and so it allows you to get some really nice information in there that again we just can't cover. And it also allows you to annotate your own book. So, if years down the line, you can kind of come back to the book, kind of remind yourself on the lessons you learned. And, if you reread it again, you can have almost like a conversation with yourself back in time too. It's really an investment to, I think, read and buy books. So again, thank you for listening to Book Club and can't wait to catch you in the next one.